Alright, what is up everybody, Raging Monster, and welcome back to the video. Before we get into the video, if you guys have not, make sure to check me out on Twitter as well as follow. If you guys also haven't, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channels and hit the notifications bell. It is a great way to get notified anytime a new video goes live, and it's also a great way to help us grow our community. Anyway, with that being said, I've been playing against a lot of lower tier hag players, and or I've seen a couple of them. And I kind of want to give like a gameplay analysis of the things that I do as hag and why I do them. So what you're noticing now is I am trapping gens, and I'm also trapping areas where I think the survivors will commonly run to. The reason why you do this as hag is because you shut down problematic areas that the survivors can go to. Here I see a survivor, but notice how I just kick the gen and I just trap. I completely ignore the survivor. The reason why I ignore the survivor is because I don't have traps down. Chasing him here would be completely pointless and it would be unrewarding. So I'm going to trap here, and I'm going to go back. I'm actually going to teleport, and I'm just going to retrap. Notice here how I retrap. The reason behind that is because the survivor already had distance on me, and that was a good juke by him. So I'm just going to, again, retrap. So the survivor's going to try to harass my traps, which is completely fine. There's a reason why I'm going to continue to keep teleporting and retrapping. I want to keep my traps down. So notice here, I'm actually going to push him away from the gen. And I believe when he goes in here, I'm actually going to trap right here. And the reason why I'm going to do that is it's going to force him to have to be careful. So again, I'm just going to keep teleporting and retrapping. I am not looking to chase. I'm looking for a guaranteed hit. I'm going to trap here because, again, this is a place survivors go a lot. And I'm just going to keep retrapping. I know that this looks very, very, it looks weird that I just keep retrapping, but this is going to help in the long run towards late game. And here I actually catch him and push him into a trap he had no idea was there. This is why you keep retrapping. Also, this was very smart on him to look to see where I placed the trap. That was very good of him. Not a lot of survivors do stuff like that. So, again, I'm not really interested in getting it down here. I'm more interested in getting traps on the map. Another thing I would like to go ahead and say is the build that I'm running, I think, is personally the best. The only perk I would switch out is No Way Out for Save the Best for Last, but that's a different story. Also, okay, so you'll notice right away they got a gen done, and the gen next to him is actually blocked, and I ended up actually getting it down. Again, this is why you keep trapping, because you eventually will get somebody who is not expecting it. So, again, we're going to keep trapping. Deadlock is doing its job. It is shutting down a gen for 30 seconds. The gen with the most progress on the map, which is, again, really good. This is why we run Deadlock, is because I want to keep gens locked down. So, again, I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to retrap, and I'm going to come back here because I'm going to try to get a hit on Zarina. I want to get a hit on Zarina, but I actually think I missed here going through the pallet, and I do. I do think I get her here, I believe. Yeah, I get a hit on her here, which is completely fine. So now they both have to go heal. So now they're going to waste even more time healing each other in the corner of the map. Not doing a gen. And that's benefiting me. So here I teleport, I get a hit. Again, this is why you continuously retrap. I cannot emphasize that enough. As a hag player, you need to keep traps on the ground. If you are chasing without traps, you are not playing hag correctly. You need to have traps on the ground. So this is unfortunate. Nia throws the pallet right away, which is completely fine. This area is not safe for her, which is fine. Again, I'm going to teleport and retrap. I could have chased her and gotten it down, but that's not what my goal is. My goal is to keep traps on the map, right? Sometimes it's better to let the survivor run away and retrap instead of chasing the survivor and risking, risking chasing the survivor too long because you don't have traps on the ground. It's better to just get traps down versus getting a survivor on the ground. Trust me, hag is a killer that can just snowball. Here I teleport and I lag like crazy because, unfortunate. It happens though. So I know Nia probably went into the locker or walked around the corner. I don't really care. I want to check on my gens. Again, I am not looking to chase survivors unless it's a guaranteed down. So here I get a hit on Nia, and this is what I'm talking about, why you continuously retrap. You get a guaranteed down when you put traps down. This is why. So I'm going to pick Nia up. I'm going to hook her. And they're trying to disable my traps, which is smart. This is what they should be doing. A gen pops and Deadlock activates, which, again, this is why we run Deadlock, because this will stall This allows me to set up more gens without losing without losing a bunch of gens back to back. So I get a hit here. I actually thought Zarina was going to run into the trap, but she didn't. Props to her for missing the trap. Again, notice how I re-trap. I am going to emphasize that a lot this video. I am going to keep traps on the ground a lot. So notice how I teleport and get a free down. So I'm going to teleport and I'm just going to re-trap. Again, I want to keep traps on the ground. And I'm not really interested in picking Zarina up right now. I want to apply pop to this gen. I don't care that they saved her. That's fine. Let them save her. I don't really care. I just want to pop this gen. I want to pop this gen and I want to get a trap down because this is their objective. This is exactly what they're going to be looking for. I'm going to trap back in front of the hook for future. And so he picks her up. This is a stupid decision by me. I shouldn't have swung. I should have just waited for her to run into the trap and teleport. But I swung anyway, so it's no big deal. Either way, she has to go heal. I'm doing exactly what I shouldn't be doing here, which is chasing. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. You don't want to chase this hag. You want to play more defensive, and especially at higher MMR. So I'm just going to break chase with him. There's no point in continuing the chase. He has got a lot of distance on me, and I'm a 110 killer. I am not going to be able to accurately chase him. So I'm going to break chase. I'm going to instead look for another down. I'm going to look for a survivor that's either injured or look to get another hit on a survivor that is not injured. I'm also looking for areas where I can trap. I'm looking for areas where the survivors will not expect it. I'm actually going to trap up here because this is an area that the survivors can actually loop. So we're going to trap in the middle. That shuts down 2 stairways, which I'm completely fine with. So I like to go this way, so I'm going to trap over here. And another gen pops, deadlock activates. So now I know that they're on this gen. Or they were near this gen, which is not true. The gen was regressing and that popped, and unfortunately they're not on any other gens, which is actually good. It's actually good. I'm glad that they're not on any other gens. So here I teleport. Again, I just placed this trap. I see a Nia. What am I going to do? I'm going to retrap, and then I'm going to go after Nia. I don't know how I didn't get that hit there. Is what it is. I feel robbed, but nothing I can do. Notice how the gens have gone fast this game. Notice how I'm going to trap yet again. So I actually catch Elodie here. Elodie makes a horrible play. The only thing I can think of is maybe she was trying to light the way, but still, this was a horrible play from Elodie. This allows me to hook and go and pop a gen that is currently in my 3 gen, which I am looking at the gen farthest away. That is the one that I want to hold down because that is pretty much what is entwining my 3 gen. So I messed up here and teleported and swung it. It was a bad play. This is actually good for him. He has that perk that blinds me when I kick a gen. So I'm just going to kick it again. I'm just going to, again, trap. I cannot emphasize this enough. Trap, trap, trap. It is very important as a hag player that you keep your traps on the ground. So this girl's very cocky. She's just going to run in there and stand in there and watch the window. She lacks critical information, though, because she does not know that I am pretty much trapping this area up slowly, and she lacks the information of where the traps are. So, gonna go in here, look around. I don't see anybody. Again, checking to see if they're coming to try to do the gen. They're not. I get a free hit here, and the Nia runs away. So I'm gonna retrap yet again, and I am looking for I'm just pretty much looking to hold these 3 gens down. And so he was trying to crouch away, and again, we're just going to kick the gen, and we're going to look to try to push him away. So he ran away for now, and again, I'm just going and checking on my generators. I want to make sure that no gens are being worked on at the moment. So I see them crouching up, but I also see this Nia. This Nia's injured, and I pretty much almost get a down off of it, which is unfortunate, but I get a hit on Elodie, which I think is fine. Again, what am I going to do? I'm going to retrap again. And, yeah, now I'm going to chase, and Nia will likely get caught out. But nope, it was actually Elodie who gets caught out. And I'm going to pick Elodie up because I want to go pop that gen if possible. And, again, they're disarming my traps, which is really smart. They're trying to keep my traps off the ground, which, again, is what you should be doing against hag. The gen pops, that's fine. That's fine. I have an even stronger 3 gen now because of this gen popping. I have the one in the main, or in the center. I have the deadlock gen, and I have that one right in front of me. I have pretty much a solid 3 gen. This is exactly what I was waiting for as hag, was this to happen. Sure, I was contesting that gen, but I wasn't making that gen my priority. I was still staying back, lurking at these 3 gens because they are the most locked down right now. So I come in here and I actually didn't see them at first, but then they set up the trap and I get a free hit. That's really good. Also, notice how I'm at 3 no way out stacks. That's really good, especially if they end up getting the last gen done. It's going to take them a hot minute for the exit gates to get unblocked, which still can lead to a chance to me getting a free down or getting somebody on hook. Very, very important. I think No Way Out is a really good perk for this killer, especially with this build and at this MMR. I think it's really good. So they're healing, and I think that's completely fine. I don't really care that they're healing. So I'm going to trap here because they do like to run this way. And I'm also going to come back here and trap. I think I run into Zarina, which I do. Again, I'm not interested in chasing her. I really don't care what she does. I just want to get traps down and keep them in areas that I know that they're going to commonly run to. So I see Leon and Zarina, and I immediately turn my attention to Leon. I don't know how that missed him, but it did. Good on him, I guess. I guess that's what you get for being on the sticks. He's clearly a console player, but I hit him, and this was just a fail at Dead Harding. He tried to do the same shit he did earlier, which, again, he has become predictable. I know exactly what he's going to try to do, so I'm just going to play around it. So we're going to take him. We're going to hook him, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to immediately check our gens. There's already a trap in front of the hook. I have no need to worry about there not being a trap, because there is. So I'm going to teleport, and I'm going to get a free hit here. Which, this girl is out in the middle of nowhere, not touching a gen, which, again, this is going to come back to haunt them later on. They're not actually trying to win the game. So I'm going to go back, because I have no reason not to. Zarina is not paying attention. It is very obvious she is not paying attention. So I get a free hit on Zarina, and we're just going to pop this gen down, because, I have pop, I might as well make use of it. And here I try to get it down, and I feel kind of robbed. I think she had Spine Chill. It's the only thing that explained her getting through that window. But I actually end up finding this guy, and he lacks critical information, and boom, he gets caught in a trap that he did not know was there. Only Zarina knew that this trap was here. And it's really hard for survivors to communicate where Hag's traps are, so that's somebody out of the game. So we're at 1 gen, and 3 survivors left. So notice how I'm immediately going to check my gens, and I see Elodie running, which Elodie is doing what she should be doing. I missed the Nia. A little bit unfortunate, but I'm still going to pop the gen. There's no reason for me to not kick this gen, to just keep it at 0. So I kick it. I retrap, and again, I am trapping areas that I know the survivors go, so I trap that window because that's where the Nia last went. And I'm going to check middle. I do not see the Zarina here. I'm going to check this back gen. And again, I do not see Zarina here. So I'm just going to trap in front of this window. And I actually almost get a hit on Zarina there. She was very lucky. And she actually ends up messing up here. And I believe I do hit her. So I actually end up hitting her, which is really good. Notice how my attention is not focusing 100% on her. I'm going to come back and retrap again. I just want to keep this area as trapped as possible. So Elodie is not paying attention, and Elodie gets hit because Elodie is not paying attention. And she actually ends up throwing the pallet, which is exactly what I wanted. That's the reason the trap is there. I wanted that pallet gone. So now this area has just become even more unsafe, right? So if I teleport and she gets caught out, she's not going to make it to a pallet fast enough. So that's going to be an easier down. So I'm going to leave her. Again, I'm going to check on my 3 gens and make sure that my 3 gens are still solid and are still very good and intact. And they are. They're not touched. This is where Zarina fucks up. She got caught out. This is why I trapped that area, because now she had to take the longest route to get to a pallet instead of the shortest route. And the shortest route, the pallet's gone. So this is why you do that. Zarina, or not Zarina, Elodie is actually dead on hook too. So 2 survivors out of the game. That's a lot of pressure. Again, I'm going to pop this gen. I have no reason not to. I want to keep my gens at 0. I believe they're actually on the one in the middle. So I come to the middle, and boom, I find them on the gen, and it actually has a lot of progress. So I'm going to hit her. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm going to chase her. Right? She thinks I'm going to chase her. I just turn back and come back. So I'm going to kick this gen down, and I'm going to trap it. So originally, I actually did not see Nia up above in the window. I actually didn't see her. Originally, I had no idea she was above me. I wasn't paying attention, I guess. I was just kind of looking around the area. But again, notice how I'm setting up traps in a way where if they run in here, they're dead, So I'm going to get rid of this pallet because this pallet, again, that would be kind of a safe haven for them. Notice how I'm looking around. I faked to look in the locker because you never know. Sometimes that works and survivors hop out of lockers. So I'm going to leave and I'm going to check my gens again. But I do catch Zarina trying to come back from an angle. So I see her coming back from here. And then that's when I see Nia. So Zarina's injured. And Zarina has to make a choice now. To run across the map and heal. Or to try and do the gen and risk getting downed off of a trap. Also, I did see Hatch back there. So now I know where Hatch is. And I'm very aware of where Hatch is now. So I'm just going to kick this and get rid of it. And we're going to teleport. And Nia obviously has distance, so I don't swing. But I'm going to get a hit on the Nia. Actually, I miss. And then after I get a hit on the Nia, boom. Nia's going to run back there. Again, I'm fine with this. Zarina is healed. And Zarina sets off a trap by accident. And I'm just going to kick this gen. I'm going to retrap it. And I see Zarina. Zarina's doing what she was doing earlier. She's just kind of sitting in a window watching me. And that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But here's where Zarina starts making a little bit of mistakes. So here the Zarina runs behind this L wall right here. And I hear her, and I start chasing her. And then she runs into a trap that she had no idea was there. So I get a free hit on Zarina. And again, they have to make the choice now. Run across the map and heal, or do the gens. And this is where I catch Nia lacking. Nia should have thrown the pallet here. This was just bad plays. She actually played this horribly. So I'm just going to retrap. And again, I'm going to look for Zarina. So Zarina was last saw over in this area. So she's somewhere over here where I have not trapped yet, which is somewhere back in this area. I know Hatch is over here. So I'm going to immediately go over here and check the Hatch area. And I'm pretty sure I hear her in the room next to me over here. I believe, I'm just going to trap this real quick. But I believe she got into a locker and I see blood. So I check this locker. So I fake it and then I check this locker right here. And then she pops out behind me. So she was actually in the locker behind me and she starts running. She throws the pallet, but she hesitates and she gets punished. So, if there's anything to take away from this analysis, it is very important to keep traps on the ground. Traps are the most important thing. I will say this game I did win because of a 3-gen. But I will say, as you start climbing in ranks as Hag, you're going to notice that you're going to 3-gen a lot more often. Right? You're going to be presented with 3-gens a lot more often. Right? You're also going to be presented with getting rewarded from Deadlock, because Deadlock, every time a gen pops, if they're trying to do a gen and you're 3-gen, it's going to block that gen. And then all you've got to do is just keep the other two under control and pop down that gen that was deadlocked before the survivors can get to it and get progression on it. At the end of the day, it is definitely hard to play Hag at high MMR, but it's just about understanding the setup process and keeping traps on the ground instead of chasing when you shouldn't be. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subs. And if you guys haven't, make sure to follow me on Twitter, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notifications bell, and share the video around. The reason why you share the video around, it brings more eyes to our cute little community, and it can actually help us in the long run. We're on the road to 100 subs. Let's see if we can get there before January. Anyway, with that being said, hope you guys have a great day. That being said, much love. Peace.